Sacramento Metro Real Estate Market. J. Emerson, Broker, DRE number 1788488. Sac Metro Counties Market Update. Sacramento County, El Dorado County, Placer County. Data is through September 30th, 2025. Emerson Real Estate. Sweat Index equals Demand Index minus Supply Index plus % off median price high. Supply Index equals New Listing Index plus Active Listing Index. Demand Index equals Pended Listing Index plus Sold Listing Index. The intent is to calculate the current market dynamics. A negative index is a negative. Optimum sweat for a zip code is in the range of +30 to -30. Buyers are favored when the sweat index is negative. Summary: Sacramento County. This month. 12-year high. 12-year low. How it compares to average, high, and low. Supply and demand. Sweat Index. Summary: El Dorado County. This month. 12-year high. 12-year low. How it compares to average, high, and low. Supply and demand. Sweat Index. Summary: Placer County. This month. 12-year high. 12-year low. How it compares to average, high, and low. Supply and demand. Sweat Index. Sacramento County, Lean Score, equals 0, not leaning toward either. 3, lean toward sellers. 3, lean toward buyers. El Dorado County, Lean Score, equals -1.1, leaning toward buyers. 2, lean toward sellers. 4, lean toward buyers. Placer County, Lean Score, equals -0.8, leaning toward buyers. 2, lean toward sellers. 4, lean toward buyers. Months of inventory, fewer than 4 months, a seller's market, between 4 to 6 months, a balanced or neutral market, greater than 6 months, buyer's market. Sacramento County, equals 2.5, a seller's market. Last high was 3.2 in January 2015. Last low was 0.6 in December 2021. El Dorado County, equals 3.8, a seller's market. Last high was 6.1 in January 2015. Last low was 1 in December 2021. Placer County, equals 2.8, a seller's market. Last high was 4 in January 2015. Last low was 0.7 in December 2021. Market Activity Index. Created to compare zip codes regardless of time and money, uses calculations of sold, pended, new, active, canceled listings and number of offers. Supply and demand. Maximum is 100. Minimum is 0. Sellers are preferred in a market whose index is greater than or equal to 30. Sacramento County, Market Activity Index, equals 32. Plus 2%, month over month. Minus 7%, year over year. Last high was 100 in April 2021. Last low was 21 in January 2023, which is 68% of its 12-year September average of 48 12-year September low. El Dorado County equals 38. Minus 2%, month over month. Plus 7%, year over year. Last high was 100 in June 2021. Last low was 19 in January 2023, which is 80% of its 12-year September average of 47. Placer County equals 25. Plus 4%, month over month. Minus 7%, year over year. Last high was 100 in July 2021. Last low was 15 in January 2023, which is 86% of its 12-year September average of 30. Sacramento County, new listings, equals 1,252, minus 4%, month over month, minus 3%, year over year. Last high was 2,558 in May 2018. Last low was 507 in December 2023, which is 74% of its 12-year September average of 1,698. New listing index equals minus 3%. Last high was plus 53% in September 2013. Last low was minus 46% in March 2023. El Dorado County, new listings, equals 224, minus 14%, month over month, minus 18%, year over year. Last high was 508 in May 2019. Last low was 88 in December 2022, which is 79% of its 12-year September average of 282. 12-year September low, new listing index equals minus 18%. Last high was plus 56% in January 2024. Last low was minus 49% in February 2023. Placer County, new listings, equals 553, minus 1%, month over month, plus 6%, year over year. Last high was 927 in May 2019. Last low was 207 in December 2023, which is 92% of its 12-year September average of 604. New listing index equals plus 6%. Last high was plus 45% in December 2020. Last low was minus 37% in April 2020. Sacramento County, pended listings, equals 955, plus 4%, month over month, plus 1%, year over year. Last high was 1,755 in May 2017. Last low was 593 in December 2022, which is 76% of its 12-year September average of 1,252. Pended Listing Index equals plus 1%. Last high was plus 54% in April 2021. Last low was minus 45% in November 2022. El Dorado County Pended Listings equals 133, minus 31%, month over month, minus 22%, year over year. Last high was 390 in June 2020. Last low was 75 in December 2022, which is 67% of its 12-year September average of 197. Pended Listing Index equals minus 22%. Last high was plus 77% in March 2021. Last low was minus 54% in December 2022. Placer County Pended Listings equals 423, minus 5%, month over month, plus 10%, year over year. Last high was 735 in July 2020. Last low was 216 in December 2013, which is 92% of its 12-year September average of 460. Pended Listing Index equals plus 10%. Last high was plus 67% in April 2021. Last low was minus 42% in November 2022. Housing Appetite. Appetite equals pended listings divided by new listings. Fresh demand over fresh supply. Overarching assumption is that the listings that are counted as new are also pended. Sacramento County Housing Appetite equals 76%, 70% last month, 74% last year. Last high was 126% in December 2024. Last low was 56% in June 2022, which is 104% of its 12-year September average of 74%. El Dorado County Housing Appetite equals 59%, 74% last month, 62% last year. Last high was 133% in December 2017. Last low was 44% in April 2019, which is 86% of its 12-year September average of 69%. Placer County Housing Appetite equals 76%, 80% last month, 74% last year. Last high was 128% in December 2019. Last low was 55% in May 2025, which is 100% of its 12-year September average of 76%. Sacramento County Canceled Listings includes expired listings equals 292, minus 11%, month over month, plus 22%, year over year. Last high was 727 in October 2014. Last low was 76 in February 2021, which is 82% of its 12-year September average of 357. Canceled listing index equals plus 22%. Last high was 118% in October 2022. Last low was minus 57% in December 2015. El Dorado County. Canceled listings includes expired listings equals 72 minus 31% month over month plus 1% year over year. Last high was 142 in December 2014. Last low was 11 in April 2017, which is 114% of its 12-year September average of 63. Canceled listing index equals plus 1%. Last high was plus 236% in December 2021. Last low was minus 75% in October 2020. Placer County. Canceled listings includes expired listings equals 112 minus 30% month over month plus 2% year over year. Last high was 252 in September 2014. Last low was 28 in February 2022, which is 89% of its 12-year September average of 126. Canceled listing index equals plus 2%. Last high was plus 233% in November 2022. Last low was minus 61% in August 2020. Sacramento County. Sold listings equals 876 minus 8% month over month minus 4% year over year. Last high was 1,742 in June 2017. Last low was 550 in January 2023, which is 67% of its 12-year September average of 1,317. Sold listing index equals minus 4%. Last high was plus 58% in September 2013. Last low was minus 46% in November 2022. El Dorado County. Sold listings equals 180 plus 7% month over month plus 18% year over year. Last high was 378 in September 2020. Last low was 74 in January 2023, which is 86% of its 12-year September average of 209. Sold listing index equals plus 18%. Last high was plus 79% in September 2020. Last low was minus 54% in January 2023. Placer County. Sold listings equals 405 plus 4% month over month plus 20% year over year. Last high was 716 in July 2020. Last low was 212 in January 2023, which is 86% of its 12-year September average of 472. Sold listing index equals plus 20%. Last high was plus 84% in April 2021. Last low was minus 41% in April 2023. Sacramento County. Number of offers equals 1,835, plus 11%, month over month, minus 13%, year over year. Last high was 9,318 in April 2021. Last low was 791 in January 2014, which is 64% of its 12-year September average of 2,877. Offers per sold listing equals 2.1. High of 6.1. Average number of offers per sold listing in April 2021. Offers index equals minus 13%. Sold listing index equals minus 4%. Last high was plus 423% in April 2017. Last low was minus 69% in January 2023. El Dorado County. Number of offers equals 262, plus 11%, month over month, plus 24%, year over year. Last high was 995 in March 2021. Last low was 107 in January 2014, which is 84% of its 12-year September average of 312. Offers per sold listing equals 1.5. High of 3.6. Average number of offers per sold listing in March 2021. Offers index equals plus 24%. Sold listing index equals plus 18%. Last high was plus 250% in May 2021. Last low was minus 62% in March 2023. Placer County. Number of offers equals 633, plus 9%, month over month, plus 14%, year over year. Last high was 5342 in July 2021. Last low was 242 in January 2014, which is 80% of its 12-year September average of 789. Offers per sold listing equals 1.6. High of 8.7. Average number of offers per sold listing in July 2021. Offers index equals plus 14%. Sold listing index equals plus 20%. Last high was plus 266% in July 2021. Last low was minus 86% in July 2022. Sacramento County. Active listings equals 2,169, minus 7%, month over month, plus 20%, year over year. Last high was 3,680 in August 2014. Last low was 753 in March 2023, which is 85% of its 12-year September average of 2,546. Inventory index equals plus 20%. Last high was plus 79% in October 2013. Last low was minus 59% in July 2023. El Dorado County. Active listings equals 678, minus 7%, month over month, plus 6%, year over year. Last high was 1,091 in June 2019. Last low was 231 in December 2021, which is 96% of its 12-year September average of 703. Inventory index equals plus 6%. Last high was plus 59% in June 2022. Last low was minus 61% in March 2021. Placer County active listings equals 1,124, minus 5% month over month, plus 15% year over year. Last high was 1,587 in July 2014. Last low was 354 in December 2021, which is 102% of its 12-year September average of 1,106. Inventory index equals plus 15%. Last high was plus 109% in June 2022. Last low was minus 56% in May 2021. Housing absorption. Absorption simply represents how inventory is absorbed given this month's active listings and last month's sold listings. This calculation is the inverse of months of inventory. Sold over active. Active over sold. Sacramento County housing absorption equals 40%, 41% last month, 50% last year. Last high was 161% in December 2021. Last low was 31% in January 2015, which is 71% of its 12-year September average of 57%. El Dorado County housing absorption equals 27%, 23% last month, 24% last year. Last high was 99% in December 2021. Last low was 16% in January 2015, which is 82% of its 12-year September average of 32%. Placer County housing absorption equals 36%, 33% last month, 35% last year. Last high was 145% in December 2021. Last low was 25% in January 2015, which is 78% of its 12-year September average of 46%. Sacramento County cumulative days on market equals 41, plus 5% month over month, plus 41% year over year. Last high was 56 in January 2015. Last low was 11 in May 2021, which is 145% of its 12-year September average of 28, 12-year September high. El Dorado County cumulative days on market equals 72, plus 29% month over month, plus 33% year over year. Last high was 104 in January 2015. Last low was 16 in May 2021, which is 146% of its 12-year September average of 49, 12-year September high. Placer County cumulative days on market equals 57, plus 16% month over month, plus 54%, year over year. Last high was 66 in January 2015. Last low was 12 in April 2021, which is 160% of its 12-year September average of 36 12-year September high. Sacramento County. Median price equals $535,000, minus 3%, month over month, minus 4%, year over year. Last high was $575,000 in May 2022. Median price 12-month moving average equals $549,000. No change, month over month. No change, year over year. Last high was $552,000 in July 2025. Median price momentum equals 0.1, above 0, a buy signal. Last high was 21 in October 2013. El Dorado County. Median price equals $650,000, minus 7%, month over month, minus 5%, year over year. Last high was $758,000 in April 2024. Median price 12-month moving average equals $687,000, minus 1%, month over month, plus 1%, year over year. Last high was $694,000 last month. Median price momentum equals 1.3, above 0, a buy signal. Last high was 19 in June 2021. Placer County. Median price equals $653,000, minus 3%, month over month, minus 1%, year over year. Last high was $738,000 in May 2022. Median price 12-month moving average equals $667,000. No change, month over month. No change, year over year. Last high was $685,000 in July 2022. Median price momentum equals 0.3, above 0, a buy signal. Last high was 18 in September 2021. Sacramento County. Sold volume equals 541 million. Total offered equals 1 billion. Excess volume equals 522 million. Unrequited demand. Last high offered was 4.6 billion in April 2021. El Dorado County. Sold volume equals 140 million. Total offered equals 211 million. Excess volume equals 71 million. Unrequited demand. Last high offered was 734 million in June 2021. Placer County. Sold volume equals 309 million. Total offered equals 488 million. Excess volume equals 178 million. Unrequited demand. Last high offered was 3.5 billion in July 2021.
By the way, I'm never too busy for your referrals.